Back in the building like we never left.
Like we never left. So, got a question
It's
for
Flick
you.
Filter. Welcome to another episode of Flick Filter. I'm your boy, Big Diesel.
And I'm Coach. So I got a question for you.
And I got an answer.
So let's say you were set to inherit billions of dollars, but you had to off several members of your family. Would you do it?
You know my family watches this, right?
So what if this was like a different family? Like, let's say this was like not that family, but let's say it was like family,
spiritual family.
Not even that family. I'm talking about like family that you don't necessarily know. Like, let's say these were relatives that were like you had never met them before. Maybe you have heard of them, but you're just like, I don't know about them. So, what would you do in that situation? Like, would you consider, or would you just be like, nah, it ain't worth it?
Nah.
Good answer. See, you're a good man. It's a good man right there. Good man. But we're going to talk about someone who was not such a good man in this episode, in this review. What are we doing today?
How to make a killing. Can we say that?
I was wondering that too. I don't know if we can say that.
How to make a killing. It's the movie title.
It's the movie title. Sue us.
Don't sue.
Don't sue. Actually, don't do that. Please, YouTube, don't do that.
Don't copyright us. Please. But I got a confession.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, this movie.
Confession. Haha. See what you did there.
I see what coming in clutch.
I see what you did there.
You came in clutch. So, yeah, this was. Oh man, I loved and hated this movie.
Okay. All right.
So
we go in there. Off the bat.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what are we talking about? So, this is starring Glen Powell, Jen Henwick,
Jessica
Henwick, from the Iron Fist. Fun fact: she actually passed up the role to play in Shang-Chi because she would have rather been called again because she wanted to replay her character from Iron Fist.
I didn't know that. Okay, so quick question before not to go too off track. What character would she have been in?
Okay. Shang-Chi's sister.
The sister? Okay, I didn't know if she was going to be the sister or the friend or Aquafina's character. Okay.
No.
Gotcha, the sister. I think she would have
been better as, just based off what the sister entailed, I think, and based off I think she would have been better as Aquafina's character.
I thought about that.
That's
too.
a hot take.
Yeah.
That might be a hot take, but yeah. She's a great actress, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really wish Iron Fist did better. I hope and pray now that it's in the MCU, Daredevil's doing better, that it'll take off. So we'll see.
Again, season 2 coming sometime this year.
We'll see. But anyways, back on track. How to make a killing. So anybody else I'm missing?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of people. There's a lot.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers in the cast.
There's some cameos.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley. She's a very important pivotal character.
Don't show me that. Is it?
No, I didn't know if I should mention this character. Him as the grandfather. Ed Harris.
The goat.
Ed Harris. Got
that will do, pig.
Camp.
That will do.
I know, man.
Man, this is a classic, man. It's classic.
Got Topher Grace.
Oh my God, she did so great. Oh my God.
Yeah. Topher Grace is what? I don't want to say too much about his character. Do we? Well, at least not yet. We'll get into. We'll get into.
You know,
that maybe.
Some people will like it, some people won't.
Yeah.
Still very good.
So yeah, we got some good, definitely some good actors in
Got
this
some bangers, man. Got some bangers. Got some goats and some bangers.
Yeah. So, directed by John Patton Ford. He also directed Emily the Criminal. I don't know if you saw that one with Aubrey Plaza. That came out a few years ago. That was a pretty good movie too.
And wasn't this like based off a true story?
Not based off a true story, but it was based off of a book that was like from like the early 1900s, and then it was a book of a similar premise, and then it was also made into another movie that had a different title. So even with this one, I forgot the name of the original book in the other movies, but they've had different iterations of this story essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do feel like it does have a pretty cool concept. It's not like the most original, but it was like, oh, I definitely could see Glen Powell being in something like this.
And did you compare it to one of his other movies?
Yes, Hitman, that came out a couple years ago. We did. We saw that. That came out a couple years ago. It's on Netflix. Glen Powell, Adria Arjona, she's also in that. He's, essentially a hitman, quote unquote, actor, hitman. Just go watch it, go check it out. But I felt like it kind of had like the same kind of dark humor, sort of, in a way. But yeah, go check it out before we get into this. So, what's the premise?
Basically, what you said in the beginning. He basically, his mom is in a wealthy family, but then gets ostracized because she gets pregnant out of wedlock, I believe. So then now she's kind of poor, raising Glen Powell's character. He bumps into a friend of his that he grows up with, but then all of a sudden his mom passes away, and he finds out he has an inheritance, basically. But the unfortunate thing is there's other people in his family that are above him that are possibly getting the inheritance. So basically he has to cut off, in a way,
or rid of,
or cut out the middleman, basically to try to get that inheritance. And then of course Jessica Henwick is kind of a love interest.
Yes.
And I think I hit everything.
Yeah. So essentially,
without spoiling.
Well, I don't know if this spoils too much, but these people that he has to gotta get push to the side. And if you've seen the trailer,
yeah,
you'll know that like these are members of his family.
Okay? At first, it comes out to be hard, but then he gets better and better as time goes on.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, there happens to be, as he's starting to do it, FBI is starting to catch on as well.
Yeah.
So they start to kind of investigate and pull up. So they'll pop in every now and then. And unfortunately, I don't know, should we say how it starts off?
Well, I would say Margaret Qualley is kind of the character that I wouldn't say inadvertently, but in a way she sort of sets a lot of the plot into motion. Excuse me.
But should we leave out how it starts?
What do you mean how it starts? Exactly.
Well, it starts off when he's...
You mean like, oh, I know what you mean by that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or leave it out.
So,
Because that is a kind of a clear thing that I would
Yes.
say I wish they didn't put it at the very beginning. So
Okay.
let's leave it out.
Okay, we could leave it out. But I
We'll
will
leave it
say,
out, but
should we tell them that the movie sort of, in a way, I wouldn't say gives away the ending, but because I don't want to say that.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like they should cut that part out, and if you've seen it, you would know what we're talking about. But that's all we'll say.
Yes, he does a lot. So, to get into like I guess some of the details of it, there is a lot of narration from him because he is sort of telling the story of what happens to us, the audience. Both in
and the way he tells it is kind of it gives away kind of how it ends.
He does, yes. He gives away kind of what it is, which I was kind of getting at, but I didn't want to say exactly.
Yeah, and it should. I really wish they didn't do that. So that's a minor critique. But yeah. What did you like about this film?
I
Starting off with like.
Yeah. For sure.
Good stuff first.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna get into first anyway. So I would say for me, Glen Powell I feel like is really good at leading a film. Like kind of like no matter what, I feel like even if the script isn't great, I'm not saying the script isn't good, but I'm saying I feel like he's very consistent. Like you know you're gonna get a certain level of quality from him in each movie, and I feel like he's a good like leading actor for this current generation.
Didn't know he was in The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I think he was like one of the stockbrokers or something, minor role.
Littlefinger was also in Dark Knight Rises.
Who was he in there? No one just be putting
the airplane scene.
That first scene?
Yes.
Crazy.
Anyways.
No one knows how to start a movie.
He's the GOAT, man. Anyways. Back to this.
Anywho, so yeah, I liked Glen Powell's lead. I liked Jessica Henwick as the love interest.
Yeah.
I really felt like her character was like this bright spot in the sense of like a lot of not great people in terms of morals, but I felt like she was
a glue that
held. Yeah, I'm not to say she was just perfect or anything, but she was like she felt like a regular person, and she liked him for him before he had any sort of financial success or anything. Like she just liked the person he was. They had natural chemistry from the beginning. And then on the other hand, Margaret Qualley, I don't know why I was starting to say that. I liked her performance as well. I felt like this was like a different kind of performance from what I've seen from her previously. I've seen her in other films and she's been pretty good, but I felt like this character is a little different. I would say she, like morally, like okay, so clearly something is off in terms of like her motivations, her intentions. Like it's not like she's hiding the fact that she has her certain agendas, but you're wondering like, okay, what's the big play,
angle?
Like
her
end goal, like what she expects.
The end game?
Different franchise. I see what you're doing. But yes, so I think both looking at both of those performances, I felt they both did great in their roles. Ed Harris, which he's in there, I felt like he's a good screen presence. Very like, I don't know the right word, but I thought he did a great job. And then You kind of mentioned Topher Grace. I felt like he was great. Just I felt like performance wise, everyone did great, especially in the sense of like this kind of being a dark comedy, which that can be hard to balance in the like both it being like I wouldn't say absurdist, but I think because of what happens in the movie, you kind of have to be on for the ride to still be able to root for this character who's like doing bad things, even to people that aren't necessarily great. But it's like you wonder, like, do they deserve that to happen just because they're not good people? And I think you start to have these kind of moral questions of even about like, is it even worth it after a while? Because it's like the closer he gets to that goal, without spoiling anything, it's like, oh, he's actually
There's
content.
consequences.
Yeah, there's consequences, but then it's also like he seems content almost, but it's like he
gets this kind of thing to where he's got this relationship that he's building with Jessica Henwick, but then he still has this inheritance that he feels like he's owed.
Yeah, and then especially because of what happens with his mom and her being screwed over, and it's like I think it's a there's
morally
definitely
gray,
huh
morally gray.
Yeah, it's like this question of like, am I gonna get what is owed to me, or am I gonna, or am I going to act as though like or believe that what I have is already good enough.
So here's what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Performances were great. Glen Powell's chemistry with both Margaret Qualley and Jessica Henwick was off the charts. But I can understand why some people might not like this movie just because of just sometimes dark comedies or are not for everybody.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of saying, like, it's not saying that it's okay to kind of do what he's doing. It's not kind of like saying, oh, he's right for doing what he's doing. But at the same time, you can see why he's doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I like the kind of morally gray character because it's more real.
Yeah.
Because there's no perfect person except for Jesus.
For sure.
And, we all sin, no matter how bad we think we are or how good we think we are, we're still not as good as we think in some cases. If we think about it as in how God thinks about it. But at the same time, like, I feel like, yeah, it was just hard to root for the guy. And then, of course, you had the FBI kind of, that was, it caused a lot of tension. And then just the way it kind of ended up, I was like, I left the theater like, oh man, I don't know if I like that either. But
yeah,
that was just me. I know some people might like it, some people might not like it, but that's just me. I kind of left the theater just kind of like
bummed out.
Bummed out, man.
Yeah, it's funny because you saw it before I did, and so I think I was expecting the worst possible ending for the character, for Glen Powell's character, and I don't want to say.
Yeah, don't.
Dang it! I want to say something, but it's not. I feel like it's gonna. I felt like, in a way, it was fitting to the type of story that it was trying to tell.
I got you.
Like, yes, it's like
but
it could have been
still
better, but
didn't make sense.
Yes, I think. Well, there were certain details which I don't know if we can get into a spoiler section or not.
You want to?
Only because I had certain questions.
Okay, we'll do a spoiler
Like a
section
slight-
at the very end.
Very, very end.
At the
Just
very
because
end.
I had some
Yeah.
some questions.
This is very questioning. It was one of those films.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it. We'll let you know.
But I would say without spoiling, it does have an ending where you're like, okay, it's not the worst thing that could happen, but not the best either. And so it's like, I guess if you're someone who's like, if in my head, if I'm preparing for the worst, it's like, okay, all right. But then it's like if I'm like, oh, if I'm expecting the best, then it's like, ah, dang. So I think it's kind of tricky. I think your expectations may vary, or your results may vary on your expectations.
That's a bar.
Maybe. But yeah, did we? I mean, I feel like there was more to dig into, but without going
Too deep.
too deep, like
What stood out to you?
what stood out?
I would say Ezra Miller. I mean, not. Sorry. Topher Grace's character
Yeah,
stood out.
he was really going for it.
He was.
He was really going for it. He was funny.
I liked him in that '70s show. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I don't see him in that many things nowadays, but when I do, it's like he does a great job in what I do see him in.
He's probably the only one that's really still doing good from that show.
I feel like Mila Kunis is doing well.
Oh yeah, and Ashton.
And Ashton, they're doing well.
Yeah.
They doing their thing.
They might be on the files.
Wait, for real?
Maybe.
Oh dang.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's another Bible study.
That's a whole nother Bible study.
For real. Oh man.
Next time. Flick filter.
Flick filter Z.
I like that. Anyways, I think his performances was great. Might ruffle some feathers after the Drewski stuff, but
Oh, yeah.
I think it was just right on time for me.
It was okay.
I think
so. That was a dang.
He reminds me of somebody.
I was gonna ask you which one. Like, can we say what character he was?
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler. Or what type of? So he was a. I didn't even realize when they first showed him. I thought he was gonna be like a singer, evangelist, a televangelist, basically.
Televangelist, yeah.
Yeah, he was a. So, who did he remind you of?
I can't say.
You can't.
Let's just say, because it's not because of course they're all terrible. So it's not.
I thought they're all terrible.
Well, not. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is the character didn't remind me of him. His hairstyle reminded me of him. Old pastor. Youth pastor.
Oh.
Some people would get it.
Wait, you talking about?
Don't.
You talking about? Or out of this state?
He's still in this state.
Local.
He's still local.
Okay, I know. I think I know who you're talking about. Dang, I don't think they were referencing him. I don't know if he's that popular.
No, he's not. But no, he wasn't referencing him. But just the hairstyle was kind of funny.
Okay.
The hairstyle was kind of funny.
I was thinking he was probably a combination of. I'm not gonna one of the bigger.
Yeah.
Either like a Hillsong or somewhere in that
Yeah.
in that sort of
Because
that
was he
realm.
musically? I know he was definitely a televangelist, but was he like a worshiper? Like,
I couldn't tell.
yeah.
I thought he was, but I couldn't tell.
Anyways,
Yeah.
the point is, it's cool. There is definitely a part where I thought he was gonna slice off some hairs.
Yeah.
He had fun with that sword.
He did.
And you have to know how to swing a sword to not cut somebody. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
The way he was doing he practiced a little bit, or he plays around with. He's got to like that. He's got to know how to wield his sword or something like that.
Yeah.
But anywho, and there's some other people who I forgot where we were going.
I think it just standouts from the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely stand out.
As far as dislike or even critiques, what would you like get into?
It would have to do with what's her name? Not Jessica, but the other one.
Margaret Qualley.
Yeah. She was annoying. I felt like the FBI in there. I felt like you didn't need them. I get why they were in there, but I felt like they were not needed. Really.
I felt like they were. I just feel like they were less. They were kind of more of a presence of.
An underline, and like behind the
scenes threat, yeah. Like in the sense of they're out there somewhere. They got people. They're on his trail type of thing. Versus like, I don't know, one of those movies where it's like this FBI agent's chasing these people down the whole movie, and it's like
I read that sort of
thing. But
if it fits the narrative.
True, but I don't know.
But I just felt like they were just kind of like, it just still didn't fit.
They just kind of popped up, and they would ask them questions, and they
disappear, and you would not, and then pop up again. I don't know if I just would have rather them been out, and then just show up at the,
or midway through, and then
right, but not just pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out. It got kind of annoying, in my opinion. In my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't necessarily say annoying was the word, or what I would used to call them. I'm saying for me,
mm-hmm.
But I think just how they were written, maybe they could have been more threatening in a way. But maybe I don't know. I felt like the way, like, the intentions were that that they're there, and like, again, because the narration or the way the movie kind of gives away certain things,
yeah,
it ends in a certain way, so it's like maybe they don't have to do so many things because it kind of goes in a certain direction.
But then that goes into what our first critique,
yeah,
as in it just goes into it as in that shouldn't even be a factor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if it's like if they had changed that aspect of it, then other things could have been a little different as well. So yeah, I would definitely say it's not on necessarily that the actors for that, but more so just
no, yeah.
How?
But I think because it's a book, they want to stay true to.
Well, I don't think it was. The thing is, that book is like 100 years old. I don't even know if those characters are even in the book.
Okay.
I just think it's more so loosely based off of that book. They could have been in there or similar characters, but I would just say we don't know what all stayed and what, because it's been adapted a couple times at this point.
Okay.
So.
But anyways, we're rating before we get into the spoilers.
Okay.
Hold on. New rating system. Actually, we tweaked it a little bit based off the last video. So, not the Pink Panther. Careful, we don't want to get copied.
Copy.
I did send it to you. I can't find it. No, that's good. It's on top. Okay, so the rating system: 5 out of 5. Flames. 4 out of 5. Rent or own. 3 out of 5. Check it out. 2 out of 5. 1 out of 5. Trash. What you think?
Wait, give me. Let's say it one more time.
5 out of 5 flames. 4 out of 5 rent or own. 3 out of 5 check it out. 2 out of 5 and 1 out of 5 trash.
I'm gonna say check it out plus. So I'm gonna give 3.5.
3.5? I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, even if I rate something that I would still recommend to see it in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying
definitely.
Not saying you have to, but I think because it's still a good movie, the way it's shot and just the locations and everything. I feel like it's a good theater movie, but it's also something you could watch just at home on a Friday
And at the end of the day, we are pro theater experience.
That was the big thing.
At the end of the day, we're pro theater experience, and we would like to keep the theaters up as long as possible.
For sure.
And what that means is more people have to go to the theaters. However, theater experience is very expensive, especially not only if you're buying a ticket, which is like $20, $15, $20, if that. But then that's for people who are just buying a ticket. Yeah. But there's other people who are bringing families. And the families want concessions, so you got to add that in there.
Yeah.
Some theaters have food now where you can actually eat real food, so that's a cost. It's a different beast all in its own. So you got to be very, even with us who see movies on a regular basis, but we're not we're struggling to say the least. So we're very selective we got to be very selective on the movies we see in theaters and the ones we got to check out. But
unless you're an AMC Plus member, this is not an ad. Not an ad. But if you I mentioned them, but there are also other theaters that have similar things where you can see a certain amount of movies per month or whatever. If you're somebody who does go frequently and you
is this a plug?
And I'm just saying, because even Regal has certain things, or other chains have certain rewards programs where if you know you're going to go often, you may want to look into what may work for you.
But I guess the point is, at the end of the day, we would rather people see these movies in theaters, even though if we say a movie is 1 out of 5, you probably are not going to want to see it. But at the end of the day, your opinion might differ than me or his.
For sure.
So, there is that as well. So at the end of the day, we would rather, say the movie experience. But at the end of the day, if we're not gonna lie, we're not gonna sugarcoat anything. If a movie is not great, we're gonna be honest with you, and we're gonna be right down the middle, unbiased.
Yeah, for sure.
We're trying to give you the truth, like
Well,
real reviews.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be biased to an extent,
Yeah,
but
he does be biased.
no, you be biased. You be biased too. The thing is though, my belief is that everybody's biased. The problem is people don't recognize their own biases. So it's easier to point out the biasness of somebody else than your own.
Whatever helps him sleep at night.
Nah, it's like everybody's biased. It's just certain people are better at admitting that they're biased and can work on being like, hey, I'm trying to be less biased in this area because.
Oh yeah. So if I am being biased per se, I will say it. But at the end of the day, I try to be right down the middle and try to give you a real review and not sugarcoat anything. Whether I like the director or whether I like the actor, whatever the case may be, I try not to show favoritism because at the end of the day, it's all about did I like the movie or not.
For sure.
And some movies I'm not gonna like regardless of who's the actor or who's the director. Everybody's gonna have misses at the end of the day. Really.
Yeah, man. Everybody has misses.
You broke it.
I did not break it.
One part. But anywho, yeah. So that is our rating system. Yeah. So, yeah. Want to get into spoilers?
Yeah. We.
5, 4, 3, 2, go.
He did it. That was it. All right. See y'all next week. No. So, essentially, what we were trying not to say earlier was that the movie reveals what happens because he's narrating
from prison,
and he's basically doing a confessional to a priest. Essentially, like what he got there. Wow, it's kind of a dual purpose in that like he's communicating this to the audience, of course, but he's also communicating this to the priest in jail. But the story reason, and the character reason for him is because leading up, there are certain things that lead up to him being, locked up. Because throughout taking out these relatives of his, the FBI is, suspicious of him because it's like, whoa, this happened to two people in the same family within a certain amount of time. This is real suspicious.
But the way they do it is clever.
Yes, it is. Because, well, why were you going to say it's clever?
Well, because, so basically they frame it as Ed Harris is the big bad villain. Mm-hmm. Because he's the actual father of everybody, pretty much. He's
the grandfather.
He's the grandfather.
Well, his grandfather. Beckett's grandfather.
Yes. So basically, it's a whole shootout at the very end. And
Chekhov's bow and arrow.
Yeah, I wish they didn't show that.
Yeah.
But then it kind of, because he's practicing, his mom teaches him how
archery.
Archery, which is cool. But I wish they didn't put that in the trailer. You basically see him with the arrow. But anywho,
it's one of the posters too.
Yeah. But I get it. Marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
But, sometimes marketing doesn't really help. It's at its detriment. But anywho, basically, him offing, getting rid of his grandfather. Of course, that would probably be like, oh yeah, send him to jail. However, he didn't. He did it off self-defense.
It was, and technically, it was self-defense. It was.
So, but Um,
He had an earlier encounter.
which yeah. So basically, they kind of convicted him off of something else, which he didn't do.
He didn't.
He
And
didn't do, and he was kind of set up.
Set up in a
So
way.
it's clever, but it's kind of like, are you serious? Because here's the thing: he's
Off a lot of
off
people.
a lot of the other ones. So in retrospect, he should be in jail anyways.
Yes, it's that irony of the thing. Like it happens in a lot of movies where it's like you do all these big things and then you get away with it, but then either you get caught doing like this either really small thing or something that you didn't even do in the first place.
And what made me mad in the whole situation was you got him. So you got his little friend, who's a girl that's coming up that grew up. Obviously, there's something there, but nothing really happens. He likes her, and I think she's kind of older, but she never really cares about him until she realizes, he's got an inheritance. But at the same time, she, she's got a what is it, fiance, husband, something like that.
Husband, she was just getting married when they
Right.
reconnect.
And it's basically she just pops in every so often, and it kind of, and she ends up framing him for uh for getting rid of her husband when really I think he did it. I think it's implied that he did it. However,
Wait, that he did it. The husband did it himself.
no, that she did it.
That she did it.
That
Yeah, but remember, she also had framed him or was blackmailing him for something earlier.
Blackmailing.
She was blackmailing him, and that was the reason he even went over there in the first place.
Right. And what's crazy is he's dating and about to try to get married to Jessica Henwick's character, and you're like, man, they got good chemistry, they're perfect. This is the one you want.
Yeah.
And he has an engagement party and doesn't go. He instead goes to confront Ed Harris, and I just was like,
to meet the grandfather.
if you should have just went with Jessica Henwick's character, and then at the end of it, it's just kind of like she shows up in the car after basically what happens, like
he basically there's some evidence he gets exonerated because he signs away because there's some sort of some missing evidence or something that proves his innocence, but it's like locked away. It's like sealed in something. There's a note that's sealed away that he somehow knew about.
we gotta rewatch.
We watched at least that part.
Yeah.
And Margaret Qualley's character knows about it. And he basically has to contact her, and the only way she'll do it is if he signs away the inheritance. Which I feel like, I don't know, I feel like realistically that's got to be some extortion stuff. Like, how would the courts even allow that? It's like if you sign away this particular thing, and it's like, oh yeah, now we'll do it. Like, I don't know. That
I think the ending's trash.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's like I don't know.
The more you think of it, I just think, oh man, I just wanted. He should have just stopped while he was ahead, did the engagement, cut off everything, even if that would also mean that he doesn't get the inheritance. But who cares? At that point.
Yeah.
I would have just.
He was already doing. Because the thing is, he was doing well for himself. Like he was working in Wall Street.
Yeah.
He was, and it's like, I don't even think it was. I do think to some extent it was about the money, but I think after a while it was like I got to see it through. Got to see it through, my boy.
It's just like Wile E. Coyote trying to get the river.
He flew too close to the sun.
He should stop
Low,
messing with acne.
call Loki. Or what was I say? Word Icarus.
But anyway, but yeah. Anyways, that's the spoiler. Basically, she shows up and you're like, oh yeah, she forgave him, blah blah blah. But really, she just drives off, and I'm like, oh. And then here is Margaret Qualley's character, and you're just like, and he just drives off with her. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's like you would have felt better if you probably would have felt better if he just started like just walk. If he went on just by himself. Now he's like basically tied to her, but you don't know. I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen from then on. But
sequel, no, that needs a sequel. Not after that ending. No sequel.
I think
no.
I think
no. I wouldn't watch it. Nope.
If they, there is a way that they could do.
They could.
Yeah, they could do
but
something.
I'm just
to
no. It rubbed me the wrong way. Nope. Couldn't do it. I'm taking a stand.
All right.
Yeah, cause man, Jessica Henwick was
right there. Right there. You're on the 2-yard line.
I would have went. I would have said, cause what did Biggie say? More money, more problems.
But here's the other thing, though. Because of her, here's the actual issue, though. Because of Margaret Qualley's character kind of being the one to set things in motion, I felt like she would have.
She was still
got him in some sort of way, like.
Because she was gonna.
She was manipulating a lot of stuff. So
she could always show up every now and then at the wedding, or
she popped up in his house. She was conniving. So I think.
Oh man, yeah. She wouldn't have let it go.
She
was very relentless in trying to get that money, and at the end of the day, just the fact that she had that on him, yeah, she probably wouldn't let it go.
In the end, she was the real villain.
Pretty much.
Dang, the villain won. Dang.
Pretty much.
Dang, man.
Yep. It's one of them movies, man. We told you. It's going on 40 plus minutes, so it's not. It shouldn't have gone this long, but it was one of them movies that.
Man.
Yeah, it rubbed us. It affected us after seeing it. So, anyways, if you stayed to the end, we appreciate you. You know, we love y'all. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you. It's a long video, but
yeah, thank y'all.
I say if you should have already seen it if you're watching this.
Oh, for sure.
But if not, go check it out. I say, and yeah. Anyways, we'll talk to you later.
Leave some comments, leave some likes.
Yeah.
Show some love.
Tell us what you thought about it. And yeah. See you in the next one. God bless.